how has the mentality changed so much that now the way to squash something is by killing someone?
I don't care where you're from. I don't care where, you know, what persuasion you are, what demographic you are. If you're poor, you're poor. Well, that's it.
We've become so judgmental as a society, and
we do.
Those values.
The Bible said there's no condemnation. Sometimes you're so judgmental of somebody that the problem is really you.
From the Bible to beat each other down. You know, across religions, my book is better than yours, right, or my God is higher than yours.
You should never give anybody that kind of power over you.
But a lot of people do.
Because the greatest remedy in life is forgiveness.
All right, once again, hi, we're back. This is the Real Deal Health, Wellness, Insurance, and Lifestyle Podcast. The consortium members are here again. This is Nicole.
Hi, everyone.
That is Juan. And I want to introduce this segment's speaker of the evening. This is Pastor Sterling. He's actually one of my clients, one of my dear clients, him and his wife. And tonight we want to broach a topic that we think is going to be deep. It's going to cut. Faith. Faith is a big one. We've been talking for a long time.
Yeah.
But we always talk about, and I think one of the biggest things is, but first, Pastor Sterling, introduce yourself. Tell us.
Yeah. Actually, I'm Bishop Everton Sterling from Living Faith Ministries, located in the Bronx, New York. So I commute from all the way here.
From Middletown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bronx.
He lives up in Middletown and he commutes all the way to the Bronx.
Yeah.
And we've been how long? 2-3 years?
No, it's got to be at least. I've been here a little more than that.
Really? Mm-hmm. You've been a client like that long?
Yeah.
That's how good I am. But tonight, you know, I invited Pastor Sterling to talk about
Bishop Sterling.
Brother Sterling.
Brother Sterling?
Yeah,
I like Pastor Sterling. All right. Is that too? All right. So I invited Brother Sterling here this evening to bring the consortium into a topic that needs to be broached. It's a hard topic. I think we talked a little bit about it. You know, we were talking about drama cells and the moral fabric of America and how it's diminished, how people don't socialize anymore. They just make judgment calls. And we wanted to and the reason I invited you in for that, Brother Sterling, is to just talk about how faith can kind of override it, or maybe bring something back into what we consider, you know, what we would consider having maybe build back the moral fabric of the country, or just as individuals. So give me, you know, I know you were talking about the situation that just happened with you and how tough it was. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, you don't mind if we just pray for a little bit?
Oh,
absolutely.
Let's go.
Father, we just want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to sit and reason together. We understand that we're in crisis. This country, this world, this society, we are asking you to guide us and protect us. Open our hearts and our minds so that we could speak to someone today. We can bring some kind of clarity, that we can reason. We give you thanks and praise in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So,
yeah, I was just talking to you a little bit about this. Saturday was really a rough time for me. You know, I pastor a lot of children, a lot of young people. 90% of my ministry is youth. And sometimes in the beginning stage, first of all, my wife is not here, she's Deborah, and we have 6 kids, and
that's right.
The youngest is 22. And initially when we got into ministry, it was more of counseling. And then we find out that it gets deeper because you're in the inner city. And a lot of the kids that goes to school with our kids, some of those kids come from broken homes and other situations too. So we had to engage in the aspect of ministry. And then when we start getting deeper and deeper in ministry, you know, 20 or 27 years now, ministry has exploded. But the situation I was talking to you about, because I have been burying a lot of young people. And it's very disturbing.
Recently or in the past?
You know, it's been happening a lot. And most of the young people that I've been burying, they are under about 25 or below. which is kind of shocking, because it's the youths that's supposed to bear the appearance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the parents that are bearing their children. And it get to a point now where it get really frustrating, because that's why when I was talking, I said I don't want to go on the political side,
Right.
because a lot of things starts from the home. And most of the homes, when the parents are not, either one of them are not in the home, and you have people that working 2 jobs or 3 jobs, it affects the moral fabric.
Yeah.
For example, I give you a scripture before I go into the other part. In the book of Psalms 11, verse 3.
Okay.
Psalms 11, verse 3. The Bible says that if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
Yeah.
If the foundation of society is destroyed, on the home, the job, everything, what can the righteous do? It is really metaphoric for the heart of society, because wherever society goes, there goes our children. Why? Our children are being raised by the internet. Right?
Talking about that.
Right? They are raised by gangs.
In certain communities, yes.
Right? Groups. In certain communities.
Yes.
And most of the children doesn't have an outlet. Right? So at some point in life, we as adults are going to interface with them. And the incident that happened is that this happened in the Hafen Park, which is in the valley of the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
Close to Co-op City.
Close to Co-op City. I know where the valley is.
Yeah, and for anyone to live in that neighborhood, because there's no multifamily dwellings. It's mostly single-family homes. So you have to make somewhere between maybe $65,000 and $70,000.
Yeah.
To purchase a home in that neighborhood.
In Co-op or in the valley?
In the valley.
The valley?
Yeah.
Really now?
Yeah, well, to buy a house.
Qualification
of mortgage.
I haven't been in the Bronx in a long time. So the Bronx is I've seen what's going on. It's kind of it's kind of a gentrification project in the Bronx right now.
Well, I don't want to talk about that part of it either, because I could go really deep.
We could go there. We could go there.
No, I want to stay on the religion.
I've seen it. I mean, I see what's happening on the south end of the Bronx.
Oh, they don't
down by 138th Street.
They don't call it South Bronx anymore.
It's Sobro.
It's a Sobro. Our downtown Bronx.
What?
Yeah,
downtown Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
That sounds bougie. That's
That's bougie. Yeah, but the funniest part, I just got to tell this, and I'll let you get back to it. Like, I went to those buildings right there on 138th from the
brownstones.
Yeah, whatever. No, not the brownstones. Okay. The tall buildings.
Right.
At the you get off that exit on the Deegan, and you see those big tall buildings, and they're very nice, and I think they're what's the word? They're not co-ops. They're
the townhouses.
Yeah, no, they're not townhouses. They're condos.
Oh yeah,
condos. So you walk in, and they got all the amenities. They got the concierge desk there, and there's one sign in there that says, buy a condo here, views of Manhattan and views of the river.
Oh.
I went up to the top floor I think it was 30. I think the top floor was 30. So for a 1-bedroom, you're talking about $23,000 plus the down payment because it is a condo. You know what my view of was? They say the city. Where's Taino Towers? Taino Towers, right there in front of me, blocking me from the city. What river do I see? The Harlem River. Like, really? And then if I look to the other side,
well, that's marketing, Santiago.
Yeah, but no, don't give me that. That is like
marketing.
That is false marketing. Then what's on my other side as you look to the left? The sanitation depot on Randall's Island. Really? And you charging me $2,300 a month in maintenance fees for that?
Technically, they can't call it waterfront property.
It is
How about water garbage property? Yeah, but let's go. Go ahead. Oh, you got a question.
We were just talking about this before. How kids are misinformed via the internet, or because parents have to work 2-3 jobs, they don't have any type of foundation at home. So where do they go? They go to their friends, and their friends also don't have foundation, or they don't have good morals, or they're watching things on YouTube or Instagram that are causing them to act out. Or in certain aspects, there could be gang members, and the way gang members, initiate and recruit is by saying like, yo, I'm your family now. I got you. I'm going to bleed for you the way you bleed for me.
That's right.
And it's very sad. And we were just saying how when we were growing up, all of us, if we had qualms or problems with one another, we took care of it, and then we were friends the next day.
And then we were friends again.
Right? It was a one-on-one thing, whether hands were thrown or not. Not that it was right, but once that was squashed, it was squashed. Nowadays, guns, knives, people getting jumped. Drive-bys. I mean, it's very, very upsetting.
But would you say...
But it's intentional.
But that's the scariest part, is that it's intentional. How has the mentality changed so much that now the way to squash something is by killing someone?
Listen, there's a lot of things behind the scenes that you and I don't know. And one of the words that you brought in was gentrification.
Yes.
Right? Because when you and this is deep.
Come on.
When you allocate $100 billion to a community for 25 years, and the people have to keep a status quo in order to tap into that money, and they live into the word project, low-income housing. This is way off from what I want to
No, go ahead. Come on.
But when you go into those type of things, and you find that you have to, in order to live into those vestibules, you have to qualify to live in there.
Right.
And therefore, you have one generation that comes and perpetuates what the other generation does, and you keep on going. And I have nothing against the public housing and the food programs and all of these things, but you have to make a certain money in order for you to be qualified to get these kind of benefits. So these things perpetuate.
We were discussing the it's called the federal poverty level.
Right.
That's the national term for it.
That's the benchmark.
That's the benchmark for those benefits.
Right.
And we were just discussing that, and I know we had another segment previous where we were talking about how, if, like we were talking about earlier, if these programs don't get resolved at the federal level, what's going to happen in going into next year. We've already seen, I know you've seen it, where you got your letter from New York State saying that your premiums are going to double unless these people do something about it. But the problem is that they don't even want to talk to each other, for the good of everybody. And we were talking about that. There's no red, there's no blue, there's just people.
That's right.
And community.
Right.
Yeah.
And I always say that, I don't care where you're from. I don't care where, what persuasion you are, what demographic you are. If you're poor, you're poor. Well, that's it. There's no color barrier on that.
You for example, work in a system.
Yeah.
Where you meet everybody.
Everybody.
And you handle people's, not only their financial information, but their personal information.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback on what you just said. And I just want to offer some clarification for those who are listening. When you said we deal with everybody, I think that we should expand on that. That we deal with everybody, and we deal with different financial situations. For instance, I'm in a place right now where somebody can come in and they make $10,000, but by the same token, somebody can come in that makes $250,000. So they all live within a stone throw away from one another.
That's deep.
That is, and I know Nicole does it. I do it. We deal in the Lower Hudson, because that's where most of our clients are. The Lower Hudson, you could walk a mile and a half, and be in a different demographic, a whole different financial level. I mean, you could cross. Yonkers is Yonkers, but you could cross one street and you're in Bronxville.
Sure.
You could cross one street, or you could drive a mile and you're in Scarsdale. And it's a whole different thing. And I think, I remember back in the days when I worked in nonprofit, and I was working at some schools in the Bronx, and what I wanted to give them, it was a summer program, and the experience I wanted to give them was to experience the different demographics of getting out of the Bronx. So I brought them into Westchester to see the different how different people live. We went to Irvington, we went to Phillipstown, we did all those things. So not only did they get to experience like the culture of Westchester, but they got to see the big houses as they drove up 9A. You know, and you're like, and people are like, where am I? And you're like 15 minutes away from the Bronx.
I'll give you an idea. And thanks for I remember when I was growing my children, they all grown now. Mm-hmm. And like on a Sunday evening or a Saturday evening, me and my wife, we just put them all in the car.
Yeah.
And so let's go for a ride.
Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And we take them from the Bronx into like New Rochelle.
There you go.
And drive them past houses that is less than 3 miles from where they live in.
Mm-hmm.
That are $2-3 million houses.
Mm-hmm.
Riverdale.
Riverdale.
Yep.
The Bronx.
Yeah. Bronx. Yeah.
Yep.
Pelham Bay. And so forth and so on. So they get an opportunity to see something different. For example, when you have the 9/11, we used to have a Harvey, right?
Yeah.
And the September the 10th, we parked right in front of the White House.
Wow.
That's what we had. We got up in the morning, had breakfast there, opened the window at the RV. They were able to see people going into the White House to visit. That's way before everything changes, right? And I take other family members with me because we just always road trip, going somewhere. So when your children grow and they can get out of that environment they're in,
that's right.
They can participate in many intellectual programs and so forth and so on. Then they themselves can build up their faith stronger. That's one of the things that I just wanted to get back into.
All right.
But that exposure is very important because children, when they spend all their lives in poverty and they never leave it,
they think they don't have the opportunity to. Yeah.
There's no, they lose that,
that perspective.
Yeah.
And the imagination.
Right.
I think that's something that kills them in school right now. Is like there's just no far out thinking. There's just no imagination. Like imagine, you can imagine. I mean, like that's why my favorite subject was always history, because you can imagine going back and being a part of those times. But just having that ability to say, you know what, if I do this, if I take this road, I can get there.
Just being able to go to a parish that can do something like that can, not only teach you, the words of the gospel and the words of God and how to be a good human being, but to possibly do like some sort of road trips or, day exploration.
Well, let me just expand that a little bit as you're speaking that. Because one of the things that we do, because we are so centralized youth, we have lawyers, doctors, engineers, architects, professors, funeral directors, we just keep having different stuff and exposing them to it. Not only that, financial consultants, we have all kind of programs. When you find out that when a ministry is open like that to so many people, then young people are going to grow up having an idea that, hey,
I don't have to work in a grocery store.
That's why. That's one of the reasons why we have so many doctors and lawyers and so many people that grew up in the church and become somebody. Yeah. Like I'm getting on the 18th of this month, we're getting ready to do another funeral again.
Oh, okay.
But this one is with a young lady. She, come to the church from maybe about 8th or 9th, and this year went to university, graduate, doing very well. She went to a university in Maryland and got a very good job there. And started working there 2 weeks ago. She was traveling, coming from home in the night, in the morning, 3-something, and just fell asleep and ran on a truck.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Passed away. So the funeral is the 18th, of this month.
How old?
She is now about 29, somewhere there. Yeah, right? And you know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of young people that grow up, but they make something of themselves because if the atmosphere is conducive for growth and other people going away and doing something, then, you give them the opportunity to do that. Right. But faith.
Yes.
Faith is something that you have to instill it or get it. Whichever way you get it, get it. So it's inside of you, because the days are going to come when things get real, real hard, when you have to make a decision that you have to make.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is this thing called faith?
And I always say, my one of the things is with a denomination or a church, some places I think kids are turned away because of the way they proselytize. And I always tell people, everything can't be fire and brimstone. You can't do that. If you're gonna hit kids over the head with all this, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, instead of saying, forgiveness and things like that, they'll come.
Judge not.
Yes.
Everybody needs an atmosphere or a platform or some place where they can go and you don't have to judge them.
That's right.
But we've become so judgmental as a society, and
we do.
lost those values.
Yeah,
but it's coming all the way from top.
Without sin,
it is.
throw the first stone,
it's
right?
coming all the way from top, and that's like I teach a sermon on total forgiveness. What it means to unconditionally, unlimited forgive you. And one of the greatest things we can see, and I give this as an analogy. Here's Jesus on the cross. 2 guys was beside him. The guys on the ground, one was saying, if you're Christ, come on, save yourself. The other one said, listen, if you're really Christ, remember me in paradise, right?
Sure.
And the guys are on the ground. Same guy that nailed him, right? Was gambling for his sport, right? And then he looked up to heaven when everything was going on, and he looked down and he says, Father, forgive them.
Yeah.
For they know not what they do. So who am I to condemn somebody?
Yeah.
The Bible says there's no condemnation. Sometimes you're so judgmental of somebody that the problem is really you.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Really,
this is true.
really,
This is very true.
really is.
You know how many times I find that I'm wrong?
Yeah.
I have probably said, please forgive me more in my life than probably, maybe all of you guys together.
Who have you asked for the most? Your wife.
My wife.
That's what I was trying to get to. Boy, I had to hit that one. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because
And I'm sorry to interject,
Go ahead,
Pastor,
Fitz.
but I think that a lot of people really don't take that for what you say. That when you're angry and you're judgmental about that other person, that person has a power over.
Yeah.
And the way
that
to
is
release
powerful
that
what
power is
you
by
said.
forgiving them. I forgive you
that's
for
the best
everything
nugget I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Give me that again.
I blame you for nothing. I forgive you for everything.
There you go.
There you go. You just unloaded everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
You should never give anybody that kind of power over you.
But a lot of people do.
Because the greatest remedy in life is forgiveness.
Yes.
And you did say too, he that without sin cast the first stone. And that was another situation when they were getting ready to stone the woman, saying that she has been caught in affairs. And all of these men was there. And that statement, when Jesus made that statement, he bent down, he wrote something in the ground, and all these men were saying, oh, we're going to stone her. She has been with that. She has been with that. Guess what happened? They all threw the stone down and walk away.
That's right.
Because their name was probably in
that. But there was one parable I love where I forget the exact one, but it was the tax collector.
Oh, Matthew.
Yes, the tax collector is one of my favorites. And there was another one where there was a gentleman who climbed up into a tree.
Zacchaeus, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Climbed up in the tree just to see our Lord, and everybody was like, "Why are you climbing up in that tree? He's not gonna notice you. He's not gonna notice you." And that was the first.
Those are great scriptures.
Yes.
Here's another one that I think you're gonna like. Okay. Right? Jesus was passing by one day, and there's a gentleman by the name of Nathaniel.
Yes.
He was on a sycamore tree, and he looked at Jesus and he says, "Can anything good comes out of Nazareth?" So in his mind, the family I come from, where I come from, is much better than where you are coming from. So people look at a neighborhood and stereotype a neighborhood and say there's no good.
Right.
But here is it, he came to save them. And they were asking if there was anything good. So we should not really judge people.
Right.
We should not look down on people. Because the person that you look down on, they are the very one who may give you some water to drink.
That's right.
100%.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
100%.
This world only spins in one direction.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But that's very true. And I always say, you know, we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago. The selfless individual wins. If you're selfless, if you give of yourself, if you judge. I mean, judging is. I mean, you know, that is one of the. I mean, we were talking about earlier.
I don't judge. I deal with a lot of different types of people, and they tell me a whole bunch of personal stuff, and they're like, you know, I feel comfortable speaking with you because you don't cast any judgment. I'm like, I'm nobody to cast judgment on you.
Yeah.
You know, like, who am I to do that? There's absolutely no reason for it.
I live my life like this. I believe that you can sell your integrity, but you can't buy it back. Because once somebody see that you're a floozy once, you know?
Yep.
So you live, and then it's kind of hard to live with me, especially my children, because we kind of keep each other focused. I said, listen, your word has to be your bond.
That's right.
You got to say what you mean. People have to trust what you say. Nobody's perfect. And if you find out that you missteps, then go to the person and say, listen, please forgive me. I did wrong. I reconciled this thing differently.
Well, that's where the ego kicks in, right? A lot of people,
You know what ego means, right?
What does ego mean?
Edge out God, you know?
Wow.
Edge God out, yeah.
Edge God out. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean that's a, you know, it's hard. It's hard, you know. There's a lot. What are the seven? The seven are what? Vanity and those are. That is gluttony. Yeah.
There's more than seven.
Yeah.
There's more than seven.
Yeah, there's more. The Bible is a commandment. We get 66 books, 39, 27, and we some people go in and just take out some things.
Yeah.
And just
they interpret it in their own way.
And use it in their way.
To fit their narrative.
So, and that's what's going on right now. It's like when we talk about fire and brimstone, or we talk about politics and religion now, it's like people are taking words and using the Bible against others.
They're misconstruing it, and they're using it to help their narrative.
It's a very deep place that we are in life now, especially with this country.
Yeah.
We said right now, because even I do this because I work with so many young people. I have to keep their mind central because they can become very confused.
Yes.
From what's going on from the White House to the State House to the Mayor's House, you know, the City
to their
Council.
Own street. Yep.
Yeah, you know, these municipalities and subdivisions and instrumentalities, the things that they do from, you know, with writing of the ticket and the speed cameras and it becomes a very intoxicating place to live.
But going back, Pastor, one of the things that I have to say is that, well, losing a child. I mean, when you lose your spouse, you're called a widow. And when you lose your husband, you're called a widow.
Yeah.
When you lose your parents, you're called an orphan. But there's no word for when you lose a child because nothing can describe the pain.
It's deep.
And here's the thing. The damage that you leave behind for a family when somebody who's young passes away, it affects everybody.
It does.
It affects the entire family. The mother who has to bury that child, the family that's going to have to live without that child.
Let me just give you a synopsis on what you said is so true. This lady that lost her daughter, the day that her daughter got shot in her head, she was actually in Connecticut receiving her doctorate.
Oh my goodness.
Graduating with her doctorate. And she got called that her daughter was shot in the park. So she had to run from the university to the hospital.
Right.
So it went from a joyous day of her receiving her doctorate.
Didn't even get it.
To the worst
She
day of
actually
her life.
got it on Saturday. Received it from the HBI. The university actually brought her doctorate, her chancellor, to present her doctorate at the funeral.
Wow.
You know, those are some of the things that, you know, what you were speaking about. You can't either. And she's the youngest. The one that got killed is the youngest of 5.
Wow.
And it's actually children killing children.
Which is such a shame.
You're absolutely right. And how do you counsel a family that is feeling that kind of a loss? What do you say to somebody that is going
There's
through
no
that?
words. There's no words. How old was this child that got shot?
17.
17.
Goodness.
Still in high school, right?
Her whole life.
She graduated, but she was extremely talented, multifaceted, multi-talented young lady. And she was getting ready to go to university to become a speech pathologist.
Wow.
God bless.
Oh,
That's
God.
very sad. That's, I mean.
So, and I like I told the church, and I tell them, I says, and when I went to the cemetery, I actually say it right there because, the cemetery you got to walk on people to get to the, to where her committal is going to be. And I said, listen, the cemetery is one of the richest places on earth.
Oh, wow.
He takes everything and he gives back nothing.
Nothing.
There's all the books that have not been written, songs that never been sung, discoveries that never been made, right? It's all here. It would never.
Yeah, that's deep.
It's deep.
Wow.
That's deep.
Right?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right?
That is.
There's no. There is. The potential. It's loaded with potential.
Yeah.
In the cemetery.
The cemetery. Right?
Oh my God.
And the word cemetery in Greek mean lodging place, a place to lodge.
Wow.
But the consolation is this, with all this death thing. And that's what keeps me going, because I would have quit this thing a long time ago with the amounts of people that are buried. It's just, it becomes too much.
Of course.
The consolation with this thing is that it's not the final resting place. It may be for the flesh.
Yes.
Right.
But the spirit and the soul of the man lives on. Right?
For those who believe.
For
those who believe.
He was going to be a priest. He was going to be a priest. We won't tell you the reason why he didn't become a priest, though. And I think
that is deep.
That is.
For those who believe.
For those who believe.
So, the point I was making, that when you sit down with a mom,
okay,
that is grieving at that level, it's very, very deep.
Of course.
Well, I want to just get I want to get to like a couple of more points, so we got a few more minutes. One of the things I wanted to get to is like what's happening across the country, because I know you had a very good you pinpointed some stuff that we were talking about. I think one of the biggest factors we were talking about was I think you said it, or Nicole said it, how they're using words from the Bible to beat each other down. Across denominations, across religions. It's just, my book is better than yours, or my God is higher than yours.
It's just one God. It's just the way you interpret whatever's written. It's one God. It's not like there's,
I don't have a problem with them. Because whatever their opinion is, I believe that a man that is convinced of the same opinion is still of the same opinion still. So if you believe what you believe, you and I will never disagree what you believe. That's what you believe, great.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going to try and convince you against your will.
Right.
Let me say it another way. A man convinced against his will is still of the same opinion still.
Wow. Say that one more time.
A man convinced against his will is still of the same opinion still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very difficult to change people's minds.
So when I meet people from different denominations, and it's kind of interesting because many of the churches that I speak for at their convention, they're not from the denomination that I'm in. They don't even believe in what I believe in. But because maybe they believe I can make an impact to them, so they invite me to speak.
Right.
Even when they don't believe that I may have different opinions, they still invite me.
Yeah.
I don't preach religion, I preach God.
That's right.
That's it.
I let a man's life show who he is. Because if you say you love God, it's one God.
Right.
Yep.
You may ask me, is there many different ways to get to him? I can't agree with you with that.
Right.
But
even across the Christian faith, there's different denominations that believe the Bible is written certain ways. you know, a lot of, there's a few denominations that are still Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they believe that women should be, you know, subservient, you know, things like that. You know, it gets very difficult because you gotta transcribe.
Well,
you
that's
know,
why he said he
yeah,
doesn't teach religion. He
teach God.
But it's amazing you brought that up because
Yeah.
I was speaking to an apostolic bishop today that oversees quite a few churches. And he said to me, you know, we're going to really rewrite some of the things because we're going to admit more women to be evangelists in this. And I was smiling when he said it because 90% of the churches are women.
Yes.
And if you go back and look at when the Apostle Paul was writing scripture, and a lot of things that he said, you know, I don't believe it was anti-woman, but he didn't see women very favorable in a lot of light, just the same. And if you are family educated and understand ministry, you can say, was there some bias in his writing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why did he ask the Lord about he has a thorn in his flesh? And we could speculate and go into a lot of things. The Bible didn't tell us anything like that, so I don't want to go and bring stuff that's not in it to it. But women have their place in history. If you notice that, very powerful place.
One right here.
Yeah.
One right here. And that's why we always talk about, there's a couple of places on the internet where, you want me to name them again? The Manosphere. Whatever. These shows are to me, well, the Manosphere is about just putting women back into a place where, you know, I don't think you could ever do that to Nicole, but they build this power with young men saying that they should treat women a certain way, like back in the days, like they should, you know, women has their place in the house, they cook, they clean, and that's all they should do. They don't work. They can't work because I'm the man and I'm the head of the household. Then there's this other one where they bring on certain women just to degrade them as what would we call gold diggers. Like, to me, you know, as a gentleman, as a man, I would never, ever bring on a woman to do that, you know, but, you know, and get some sort of power from that.
That's the decay of society, though.
See,
Go ahead. I know she had some. I knew she was coming.
Because back in the day when women would stay home, it wasn't a power dynamic. And that's where it bothers me that people take it as that.
Yeah.
You know, a marriage to me back then was the woman was cherished. The woman needed to be protected because she was the womb of the family. Yeah. She was able to create a family with you, right? So for the man, he was there to protect and provide. He was there to protect his family, protect his woman and his household, and provide for them.
That's right.
So you're cherishing the woman. You're not clubbing them over the head and saying, you're going to do what I say because I make the money and I pay the bills. That's a completely wrong interpretation of it.
Look that way. Look at the camera that way.
It is a completely wrong interpretation.
Yes.
To me, the way I looked at it back then was we weren't property per se. We were cherished. We were valued because without us, really, what would a man have? He'd come home to an empty house. He'd come home to not a meal cooked.
Right.
You know, like, so I don't understand how that TV show is even happening because
doesn't make any sense.
That's not the dynamic of it. The dynamic or the beauty of it back then was go provide. I got the kids. I got the family. I got you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to help guide you and help you make the decisions to help our family dynamic grow. That's how I look at it.
That's right.
Right.
And I think, you know, the way I look at it, and I think, you know, Mr. Cole made a valid point on a couple of segments where a relationship is 100-100. It's not 50-50. It's not half and half. It's 100-100. And if you can't give 100%, you know, you can't feel a certain way in that relationship. But
sometimes relationships could be 100 and 0.
Yeah.
If you're having a bad day and you need me to comfort you, that's why I'm there.
That's right.
Right? And vice versa. Like, that's why, you know, Adam had Eve. Like, that's why all of that was there.
That's right. But I think one of the questions I have for you, Pastor, and I mean, brother, is like, there's this outfit. I call them an outfit. Like, there's these outfits out there that are just in this divide and conquer mentality. They're just a divide and conquer world right now. And if I can divide, and I think it's in the Bible somewhere where if I can divide you, I can conquer you. But and I think that's out there right now. It's a big time thinking.
So the way society is framed now, is to exactly have that situation. Everything should be divided. It makes a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It gives a lot of prestige to different things. You have talking points and topic that goes from it. Because in the book of Genesis, the Bible, some people call it helpmate. The Bible never says a woman is a helpmate. Mm-hmm. She's a helpmeet.
Okay.
So it's a shared power.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's duality.
Yes.
She's a companion.
Exactly. It's the masculine and feminine. Like, you need to have that balance. You know, it's not I do, and you're here to serve me.
Right.
And they are
created as a companion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're cause and effects.
Created.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you do this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that division, it is specific. Mm-hmm. And it comes all the way from the top. Mm-hmm. It's not bottom up.
Right.
But can I say something also, Pastor? You look at it and the statistics. Why do most marriages break up? Mm-hmm. The big point is money.
Mm-hmm.
Infidelity. And disrespect.
Yeah. Well, a marriage.
Communication.
Marriage.
He's going to give you
He's giving you a list.
You know, and I keep it simple. Yeah. I've always kept it very simple. So what is a marriage based on? Yeah. Love, trust, and respect.
My rule is that, because I do so much of them, I think my batting average is kind of good. Because I don't marry anyone unless I do at least 4 counseling sessions.
Okay.
Wow, you got your work cut out for you, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because we have we sit down just like this and we go through something. We talk about everything in marriage.
Wow.
Including credit.
Including what?
Credit.
Oh, I ain't getting married, man.
Including credit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you can't, it's a business. Marriage is a business. It's a relationship. Mm-hmm. That's why the government want their cut out of it. They want you to get a marriage license. Mm-hmm. So they can, this is so deep. The estate of the woman is turned over to the man in marriage. Mm-hmm. You may not know that.
The estate of the woman is turned over to
the estate or the estate.
Yeah.
That's why when you get divorced, each one of you gets half.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. Even no matter who put in how much.
Doesn't matter.
And no matter, even if they do a marriage at City Hall, they still use a principle of the Bible. Foundational principle.
True.
To lock it in. Mm-hmm. That's why they say a woman should leave and cleave. Wow. Become one. But the reason why, one of the reasons also why the marriage failed, because so much topic, is that people go into a marriage with not the right expectation.
Yep.
Agree.
Enlighten us a little bit. Go ahead. Just a little.
Well, yeah, the thing is that if you're going to marry, you don't really have a personal life for yourself anymore. Mm-hmm. Because you two becomes one.
Right.
So everything that you're going to do, she has to be a part of what you do. Mm-hmm. You can't do it and then just, by the way, you know?
Yeah.
It can't be like that. Because it's a vow, it's a contract that you actually entered into. If you do this, there's a cause and effect. Mm-hmm. So you do this, it affects me over here. So you're going to make all the decision over here, and then I am going to take. That's why after someone died, they have to go through, or if they don't have the will, they have to go through a probate.
Mm-hmm. It's a journey that you both decide to take together.
Right.
One of you will wind up walking the last days.
Mm-hmm. Brother
Isn't
Sterling,
that life? Isn't that the way that
Brother Sterling, I just want to ask you, like, so where in the Bronx are you? What you know, tell us, give us all your information.
Oh, the ministry is at 1719 Armistead Avenue in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. It's right across from Avon Park, the same park where the young lady got shot, right on the corner. It's called Living Faith Ministries.
Mm-hmm. And the hours, like when are youth ministries, when is regular service?
Bible study is on Wednesday at 7:00.
Okay.
This evening, someone is doing that.
Thank you for that.
Right. Friday evening is youth fellowship.
Okay.
That starts at 7 also, from 7 to 8:30. And general service, well, Sunday, you have Bible, Sunday school start at 9:30 to 10:30, and general service starts at 11 o'clock.
All right.
We usually have 3 services actually, on Sundays. But because we give time for families to go home and sit down on the table, put the forks and the napkins and the plates, and have a meal and sit down and talk.
There you go.
'Cause all week people don't see each other.
Well, I gotta end it there, but we need to bring Pastor.
Yes,
we need to bring Brother Sterling back.
Yes.
So I want to thank everybody. Like Brother Sterling gave all his information. We definitely will bring him back. That's Don Juan the Don. That's Nikki Needles. I am Santiago Cabasa, your host, the bougiest of the Bobs. I'm the host of the Real Deal Health, Wellness, and Insurance Podcast.
And lifestyle.
And lifestyle. Sorry, lifestyle. And I want to say one thing. Well, who do we want to say goodnight to? Good night, Canada.
You get a lot of Canadians, man.
We get a lot from
they're
Canada.
our biggest audience.